Hey guys, welcome. Now I have a poster here that I created for a fictitious company, and I use a house in the lower part here. Now in the original image, we have a sky in the background. And now what I'm going to show you to do is to use the magic wand tool and delete the background. So come over to the magic wand tool and just come over to the background and just select the sky, and we'll see what happens. Now Photoshop has went ahead and selected the sky, but this is not what we want. We want the entire sky to be selected. So let's deselect this by coming up to select, deselect, and let's increase the tolerance value. Let's double this and carry it up to 64, and come down back here and select again. Now Photoshop has selected most of the sky, but not all of it, and let's do this again and see what happens. Let's select and deselect. Now let's carry up the tolerance value to 100, and let's see where this carries us. Now come into the background and select again, and would you look at that, Photoshop has selected the entire sky, and this is exactly what we were going for. So to delete the sky now, all we need to do is hit the backspace on the keyboard. But before we do that, let's unlock the background by double clicking on the layer and click OK here. And if we hit the backspace on the keyboard, it will delete the background. Computers measure color by number. So when we have 32 in the tolerance up here and we come down and select the color, it will choose 32 color values brighter and 32 color values darker. If we change it to 64 and we select again, it would choose 64 color values brighter and 64 colors value darker. So to delete the sky now, all we need to do is hit the backspace on the keyboard. But before we do that, let's unlock the background by double clicking on the layer and click OK here. And if we hit the backspace on the keyboard, it will delete the background. Just like that. Let's select and deselect. Let's use our zoom tool and zoom in to the edge and see what happens. Just select an area to zoom in and look at these edges. It's very sharp, it's very hard. Even though we deleted the sky, these sharp edges would not make for a great poster. So what we want to do is have a softer edge right where the house and the sky meets, or where the sky was. So let's zoom out and let's come up to window, history, and let's go back a few steps. Alright, let's minimize this, and before we delete the background, we'll select our magic wand tool and we come up to select, modify down to feather, and here we'll enter a value of 0.5 just to start with. Click OK, and now let's hit the backspace, select, deselect, and choosing our zoom tool, we'll zoom in and see. The purpose of feathering is to soften the edges of your selection. So if I just select here and I hit backspace on the keyboard, notice how the edges are very sharp. But if I make another selection and I come up to select, modify, feather, and I enter a value of 10 and hit backspace on the keyboard now, notice the edges of the selection are very soft. Let's try that again. Let's make another selection, come up to select, modify, feather, and let's enter a value of 50. Now hit backspace on the keyboard and notice how the edges are very, very soft. Now this makes for a softer edge. Notice how the house doesn't suddenly disappear, but it slowly fades off, and this is a good effect that we should be going for. So let's zoom out. Now we have a piece at the bottom here. Let's also delete this. So I'll use the zoom tool and make a selection. Come over to the magic wand tool and select the area. We'll come up to select, modify, feather, and also feather this selection. Hit the backspace on the keyboard, and voila, it's just gone. So let's select the select and zoom out. And that's how you delete the background using a magic wand tool.